In this video, I'll be building the world's most satisfying Lego puzzles. Turns out Lego is perfect for building puzzles, so I made 15 of them. I've always loved solving puzzles, especially the ones on the back of cereal boxes. Currently, I'm working on this puzzle. It's going okay. The challenging part is keeping the cats away. That's where I struggle the most. I'm excited to show you my entire puzzle horde, starting with a literal Lego puzzle. It's nice to bust this one out on a rainy day, throw it on a coffee table, and take a grand total of 3 seconds to solve. This one is nice, simple. It would even be satisfying if only this piece was all the same shade of blue. Unfortunately, I don't have that piece. My Lego collection is limited, and Lego tends to be expensive, so I'm challenging myself to build these puzzles using only the Lego I already have. Anyways, keep an eye out for these missing puzzle pieces hidden somewhere throughout this video. This part doesn't count.
Round 1.
Did you know there's different types of puzzles? There's jigsaw puzzles, riddles, brain teasers, Rubik's cubes. This one's called a burr puzzle. A burr puzzle is an interlocking puzzle consisting of notched pieces that slide together to form one beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, 3-dimensional masterpiece. Kinda like this. You can have a 3-piece burr puzzle, a 4-piece burr puzzle, 6-piece burr puzzle, 100-piece burr puzzle. So yeah, I went with the 3-piece burr puzzle.
Wow.
To simpletons, it might seem impossible to pull apart this contraption. It takes some technique to maneuver it out of its solid configuration. As you can see, for this puzzle, there's 3 pieces. 2 of the pieces are identical. They're actually the same. Twins, not sisters. We've got 2 C's and an O. To put this puzzle back together is a challenge in and of itself. You have to slide the C through the O, and then put the other C on top of the O. Now slide the first C into place. Completely locked. Not easy to take apart, unless you know the trick, which is basically to do the exact same thing but in reverse. But maybe you'll have better luck with this next puzzle. This one's called the 4 F's puzzle, or as I like to call it, the FU puzzle. You have to try and fit all 4 F's into this frame. Sounds easy enough, but it's sure to stump even the brightest among you. It's easy to fit 3 F's in. Anyone can do that much. But how can you possibly fit 4 F's inside this frame? That's the true IQ test. There might be multiple ways you can do this. The only way I figured out is to flip this F sideways and then this F sideways and backwards. You gotta think outside the box for this one. Speaking of boxes, here's a puzzle box. At first glance, it might look like just a box, but it's a lot more than that to me. You basically have to slide pieces and push pieces and flip pieces, do all sorts of stuff to get to the hidden cash prize buried deep inside. If you watch closely, you might figure out how to unlock this little chicken. So now I've introduced you to 4 intermediate level puzzles. Now it's time to break out the big guns.
Round 2.
L plus C equals pain for thee. This one's a symmetry puzzle. So basically you want to create a symmetrical shape using these 3 pieces. It's harder than it looks. That's not symmetrical. This isn't symmetrical. And this definitely isn't symmetrical.
BRB.
Monday morning blues. I open my eyes and I'm greeted by a cute little smile.
3:28 a.m.
Alright, so basically, you have to ignore the shapes and just kind of use the colors to solve it. So, if you look, it's symmetrical. If that one wasn't your cup of tea, then maybe this will be. This one's called X. I named it after Elon Musk's child, but also just because this looks like an X. As you can see, it's impossible to separate the orange square from the X. You can push and pull and spin and throw all you want, but it'll get you nowhere. The trick is you want to focus on the X itself. Slide the pieces apart, and then it's easy to take the square off. I make these look a lot easier than they are. Moving on, I call this puzzle, yes, as in,
yes, sir.
This is another symmetry puzzle. You want to arrange the Y, the E, and the S so that a symmetrical shape is formed. We've been here before. It's exactly like the L plus C puzzle we cracked earlier. No matter how you arrange the letters, it seems impossible to make a symmetrical mirrored arrangement. Until you cheat and look up the solution, which is this. If you draw a line through this shape, you'll notice both sides are identical. It kinda looks like one of those Space Invader aliens. But enough of these symmetry puzzles.
Round 3.
Next up, I've got a couple squares of doom, starting with this mosaic marvel. Basically, there's a prize inside, hidden underneath all these tiles. You've got to figure out how to slide the tiles out of the way to get to your buried treasure. Some pieces slide, some don't slide, some slide the wrong way. You've got to stumble your way through this puzzle. I like this one. It's kinda satisfying pushing the tiles around. I also like the sound it makes when you shake it. It's kinda like a Macarena. Next, you have to fit these 3 shapes into the frame. It's similar to the F puzzle, but a lot more complicated and a lot more intense. You can fit 2 shapes in with relative ease, but fitting all 3 into frame is no bueno. You'll never figure out how unless I tell you. So here, I'll just tell you. Like this, and like this. It's a tight fit. That's why I knew you'd never figure it out. Also, this piece sits diagonally, which people don't typically put pieces in diagonally for some reason. Not me though, I usually do. Here's another box. Hope you took a screenshot because it's gonna be hard to put this one back together. It's like a Tetris puzzle. You have all these weird pieces and you have to fit them all together. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's actually kinda impossible. It's a very particular configuration. You gotta get all the pieces just right. Just like that. Here's X 2.0. It's nothing like the first X. It's new and improved and harder to solve than ever before. You want to take the 2 flanks of the X apart. That's the goal. The thing is, they don't just come apart, and when you hand this to someone, it's definitely not going to just come apart. They can pull, twist, tug, cry, run away. Nothing's going to work this time around. Nothing.
How'd you solve it?
I don't know! It just fell out!
When playing around with this X, people with superior intellect might notice a peculiar tinkling sound. Can you hear that? Well, I can. That sound is the connectors inside the X sliding around. There's 2 of them and they go to opposite ends, but only if you spin it. I think it has something to do with centripetal forces or something.
Round 4.
Autobots, roll out!
I made a maze. A rainbow maze. I call it Rainbow Road. I didn't have a ball or a marble or anything to slide in here, so I figured what's the next best thing? A minifigure head. But not just any minifigure head. Today I'm decapitating Nugget Face and throwing his head into this maze. Basically, you have to start on this end and roll Nugget Face through all the obstacles to get to the finish line. It's pretty fun. It's a party favorite, and probably my favorite too. There's beauty in simplicity. Which is why I admire this Rubik's Cube so much. This is a 1x1 Rubik's Cube. It's a real thing. There's even tutorials on how to solve one. The fastest time to solve a 1x1 Rubik's Cube is 3.41 seconds. A world record set by Ryan Pilat just in March of this year. Way to go, Ryan. Will I be able to beat his time? Let's see. First I gotta scramble it. And now I gotta solve it. Watch this. I'm counting that as a win. Someone let Ryan Pilat know. This one's an infinity cube. You might remember it from my fidget toy video. I've made multiple infinity cubes. Apparently they count as a puzzle, so here you go. There's no real way to solve it, but it's pretty satisfying nonetheless. After you're done fidgeting, make sure you snap off one of these $100 bills because you'll be needing it to work the next puzzle.
Wait.
A working Lego vending machine. You might be thinking to yourself, that's not a puzzle, but hear me out. Press your little buttons, make your choice, drop in some cash money, shake it, and the wrong drink falls out. There you go. This one left me puzzled. Let me know which one of these Lego puzzles was your favorite, and I'll see you next time.